ॐ सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम. Here is the reading of Patriotic Transformation session. Nation. Then Islam transformed to enter an era of planned growth and reforms. When young Bhimrao was belittled, he transformed into Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, earning 12 PhDs. India transformed into a democratic republic with her own new constitution. When Subhash transformed into Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, India transformed to a mighty armed force, Indian National Army. When Varghese transformed to Amul Varghese Kurian, India transformed from insufficiency to the largest milk producing country in the world. A fisherman's son Abdul transformed into Dr. Kalam, and India transformed to revive the nation's scientific progress. Sachin transformed into a master blaster, and India transformed from just being good to aggressively good in sports. Baichung transformed to be the captain of the Indian football team, and India transformed to believe that Indians can play football at the highest level. When an atheist B.K. Menon transformed into Swami Chinmayananda, India transformed to provide knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita to individuals from any background. My transformation transforms nation, transforming Indians to transform India. Let us the Patriotic Meter, Transforming Indians to Transform India, book page number 24-25. A score of 10 or more indicates that you are indeed in touch with India. Are you patriotic? Give this test a shot and find out if you are patriotic score. The purpose of this slide is to make the participants realize how much they know about India. Identify this young hero, Baji Raut. He is the youngest martyr by British police. When he courageously denied to, he inspired and united the common man to fight against the tyranny of the Mughal rulers. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Who am I? Inspiring patriot. He was the part of the Kakori train robbery. His best friend was Ram Prasad Bismil. Both were hanged on to write poetry with the pen name of Hasrat. He is Ashfaqullah Khan. Who am I? Global Indians. His research in acoustics led him to invent a stereo loudspeaker. Today his company employs more than 9,000 people worldwide. He is Amar Bose. Why patriotism? What is patriotism? Love and devotion to one's own country. An undying inspiration to work for the betterment of our nation. Name a patriotic Indian that you idolize and one quality that you would like to inculcate from that patriot. Purpose of this is to define what is patriotism. Ask yourself what these people did that made them who they were, which field they belong to. Is it necessary that a freedom fighter or a politician alone are patriots? We are also patriots. What is patriotism? Love, give, duty towards family, community, nation, creation, knowledge strengthens devotion to country. Journey from I belong to that to I am that. Goal integrated gives us 24 by 7 inspiration. A sportsman touching the ground with reverence, an aged person putting his head on the ground to prostrate. Actively patriot. Purpose of this is to set the context of today's session. Actively patriotic. A is for appreciate the greatness. To see a better India, we have to act. A for appreciate greatness. Before that, let us have a quick test. We become what we appreciate and admire. Chanakya. Always country first. A man is great by deeds, not by births. Nation above self. Dharma about money. Knowledge first, pleasure next. Emphasize the greatness of India. Make the participant think what we lost it, why we lost it. Once a Chinese traveler came to meet Kautilya, means Chanakya. It was dusk and darkness had just started to set in. When the traveler entered Chanakya's room, he saw that Chanakya was busy writing some important papers under the lighting of an oil lamp. You know that there were no bulbs and tube lights in those days since there was no electricity. So in those days people used to light oil lamps. Chanakya smilingly welcomed his guest and asked him to sit. He then quickly completed the work that he was doing, but do you know what did he do on completing his writing work? He extinguished the oil lamp under which he was writing and lit another lamp. The Chinese traveler was surprised to see this. He thought that maybe this was a custom followed by Indians when a guest arrives at their home. He asked Chanakya, is there a custom in India when a guest arrives at is this a custom in India when a guest arrives at your house? I mean, extinguishing one lamp and lighting the other. Chanakya said, no, my dear friend, there is no such custom. Actually, when you entered, I was working. It was an official work pertaining to my empire, my nation. The oil filled in that lamp has been bought from the money from the national treasury. Now I am talking to you. This is a personal and friendly conversation, not related to my nation. So I cannot use that lamp now, as it will lead to wastage of money of the national treasury. Hence, I extinguished that lamp and lit this other lamp, since the oil in this lamp has been bought from my personal money. It is amazing to see how principled were our acharyas, spiritual leaders were. On seeing such high moral standards of our ancient spiritual leaders, sometimes it feels that we should try to emulate them, at least a little. They had such pure behavior, pure conduct, pure mind, and a pure conscience. Just ask yourself what honorary title should we give to such men? They had reached such a high intellectual level. When will we be this greatness? Name a country that is good at it. Sports, science, culture, education, economy, politics, military. What is India's strength? Significance of the name Bharat. Bha means Prakash. Bha means light, and light is the symbol of knowledge. Rata means to revel, to play in. So one who revels in knowledge and their country is Bharata. So those people who like to study any field in mastery by knowledge. Bharata was in many fields like astronomy, astrology, richest country in the world. Other countries looted and looted. Still, integration is rowing the boat in the same direction. The impact of Britishers on India, a little flashback. In 1612, James I instructed Sir Thomas Roe to visit the Mughal Emperor Nuruddin Salim Jahangir 1605 to 1627 to arrange for a commercial treaty that would give the company exclusive rights to reside and build factories in Surat and other areas. In return, the company offered to provide the emperor with goods and rarities from the European market. Being an Indian, we welcomed the guests with open arms. Atiti Deva Bhava. What happened for the next 300 years is history. Though the Britishers left, they left behind a legacy with consequences beyond imagination, far beyond imagination, far beyond comprehension. If the boat is rowed in one direction, the boat will move ahead. If rowers at both ends start rowing in their individual directions, there is no net movement. And this is what the British realized. The key to integration and prosperity for any community is when it is united. United we stand, dash dash we fall, divided we fall. Akira Rai girls south and asked them three great Indians from the opposite part of India. Drive home the point that India would be poorer without even a square inch of its land taken away. What is wrong with the second map of India? At the surface, this seemed like a geographical divide. But what had happened and continues today is division in every aspect of our lives. Again, amongst our politicians have definitely picked it up very well. States are being divided, people are divided, and a saga continues, including the deadliest of all, the division in the mind. When religion, community, state, language, etc. is above nation, then what could be the consequences? What is the change you want to see in India? Develop a vision for India. There are many problems facing the great nation India. It is just a 300 years slumber. If youth join together, everything is possible. What is the change that you want to see in India? Please give concrete answers and not abstract ones. German versus India. Laugh. Why? What have we done personally to change ourselves and the system? How many of us fearlessly stop at every signal, not giving in to all the honking behind us? Whatever is shown as media is only out of the ordinary and hyped up. So, one must not get cynical about our country. India has faced many threats in the past, but it has never been beyond redemption. Who will bring the change? C for change. Actively patriotic. A for appreciating greatness. C for change. Change. It starts from me. Dasharath Manjhi, Gehlaur village near Gaya, Bihar in India. Manji's wife was Falguni Devi. He was born in 1934 and died on 17th August 2007. He was born in poor laborer family in Gehlaur. He is also known as a mountain man. His wife Falguni Devi died due to lack of medical treatment because the nearest town with a doctor was 70 kilometers, 43 miles away from their village near Gaya, Bihar. Manjhi did not want anyone else to suffer the same fate. Carved a path 360 feet long, 25 feet deep, and 30 feet wide to form a road through a mountain in the Gehlaur hills. It is 110 meters long, 7.6 meter deep, and 9.1 meter wide. He worked day and night for 22 years from 1960 to 1982. Gaya Jilla. Gaya from 55 km to 15 km, bringing Manjhi national acclaim. He died on 17th August 2007. He was given a state funeral by the government of Bihar. Transform. T for you transform and transform others. Act, actively patriotic. Act. A for appreciating greatness. C for change. You change and the world around changes. And T for you transform and transform others. Any one political leader cannot bring about the changes. Transform. ACT. Shama Maitre left a flourishing pediatric practice in Delhi to work as a doctor in rural primary health care center. She became an early pioneer of India's highly successful self-help movement. In just 2 decades, such small, decentralized groups made up of mostly women have extended across access to financial credit to almost 100 million people, and in other ways also empowered the poor. Her development work began in 1985 in Siddhawadi, Himachal Pradesh, with mother and child health services through 10 sub-centers. For her exemplary contribution in rural development in India. Inspired the participants with a case study of a person who made a huge change. Dr. Shama Maitre found the health system marginalized, the Indian Armed Forces, Army, Navy, eventually. What will be your contribution to make this dream? Army officials transform Army headquarters. Unless I get the permission, I cannot go and attend official functions. Now I get two PSOs protecting me. Invoke pride towards armed forces. They lead people by of a task force constituted in June 1987 to clear an intrusion by an adversary in the Siachen Glacier area at an altitude of 21,000 feet. The post was virtually an impregnable glacier fortress with ice walls 1,500 feet high on both sides. Naib Subedar Bana Singh led his men through an extremely difficult and hazardous route. He inspired them by his indomitable courage and leadership. The brave Bana Singh and his men crowded and closed in on the adversary, moving from trench to trench, lobbing hand grenades and charging with the bayonet. He cleared the post all intruders. Thus Naib Subedar displayed the most conspicuous gallantry and leadership under the most adverse conditions. Kalam, truly secular, his transformation did not end with his transformation. Let us die with the boots on in the field of service. Chinmay Jyoti Yatra. Summary. Actively patriotic. Appreciate greatness of India. Change, transform and transform. Rigved Samhita 10, 121, 2 to 4. Chapter 10, section 121, mantra, verses 2 to 4. Om Sangachadhvam Samvadadhvam Sanvomanansi Janatam Deva Bhagam Yatha Purve Sanjanana Upasate Samano Mantras Samiti Sahachittameta Samanam Mantramabhimantraye Vakutis Samana Hridayanivaha Samanamastu Mano Yatha Vasu Sahasati Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The one. Daily news. Rape, corruption, murder have become so common these days. Enough is enough. Things have got to change now. The other says, "Oh, you are settled. Why you are bothered? Government is there to take care of it." One says, "What alone can you do? How many will join you for this cause?" The other says, "It is futile. Better focus on your career. When the cause," but the determined youth says, "when the cause is found, the means will follow. Whether anyone joins or not, I will play my part." You, you may just be a drop in the ocean. But a drop can create, you may be just a drop in the ocean, but a drop can create a ripple. We will rise again. This is the right time to take the first step. I transform, India transforms. Be the one. Realize that we are the one. Through individual transformation alone, nation will transform. Story: Farmer and the Birds. A bird making a nest in a bush on unused farmland. When mother bird returns, baby bird says that they heard the farmer saying he would come with his friends and clear the bushes. Mother tells them not to worry. This repeats every day, and the farmer says he will come with his neighbors, relatives, family, etc. Finally, one day, they said he will come alone and start the work. The mother bird immediately asks the baby birds to move from there, as he will surely come this time because he is not waiting for anyone else. What can I do for my country from here? Create harmony around you. You are your country. Gurudev's talk. Very rarely we recognize that India is a unique country because of its geographical placing in the world. From the time of the creation, it has a certain uniqueness about it, as in no other part in the world. Within this Indian subcontinent, we have got all climatic conditions, from the perpetual snow of the polar region in the higher peaks of the Himalayas to the Thar desert. All climatic conditions are in our country. Therefore, the flora and the fauna of all parts of the world, as it were, is available within our nation. Because the climate are different, the floras are different. The food habits from the state to state, as it were, is distinct. When climatic conditions are different, the dress habit is also different. Languages too differ. Languages too differ. The food, dress, language, the traditions, all these are different from state to state. I am emphasizing this idea only because in all other nations of the world, the integration of the society or the nation happens on language, dress, food. But in our country, thus the Westerners come and watch. They are staggered because in the nation there are so many different nations. And yet, there is uniqueness of India. Integrated we were. The long and unbroken history of this country clearly shows that we were not disintegrated society at all. This integration must have been brought about not on the uniform dress or the uniformity of national language, nor even the uniformity of the food habits or traditions. Each state had developed and cultivated a culture of their own. Each one has contributed so much to of beauty, strength and vitality. but at the same time, it lived like an akhand, unbroken nation is only on the basis of our culture, our cultural traditions. It is uniformed or united by the consciousness of the one nation. This seemed to have weakened away the eroded from our minds for last about historically about 800 years. It was broken. I am not here to look back upon. I am not a historian to look back upon and find out what caused it. At this moment, our duty is to look ahead, to recognize the present weaknesses in a nation. Is the job of the intellectuals of the country and to give direction how we can come out of it. It is what is needed at this moment. Integration of a country is to bring about the cohesiveness in action and thought, a harmonious melody in the contributions of each individual in each part of the country. An orchestration in action and thought is to be brought about because when they are together, there is the dynamism of togetherness. At this moment, 144 crores people are there, but each one is only trying to fulfill education. In that way, to choose to brave the most difficult battlefield in the world, the Siachen Glacier, with temperature minus 53 degrees Celsius on 21,147 feet high. Who stand together from the first to the last, Indian Army, dear soldier, Indian Navy. Let us play a game. I say Panchanga, and you participants will stand in a group of five. When I say Shanmukha, you stand in a group of six. When I say Ashtavakra, you get in groups of eight. When I say Navaratri, you get in groups of nine. When I say Chaturbhuja, you get in group of four. Whoever doesn't fall into a group will be out. Finally, say India. So form one large group because India is one. One is India. First is India. India is first. Stand together and take a pledge. We believe that the service of our country is the service of the Lord of Lords, and devotion to the people is the devotion to the Supreme Self. My transformation transforms nation. When we change, the world around changes. Please rise for national anthem and end then. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Shri Sitaramachandrarpanamastu.